Hello everyone. Today is still 9th of September. Now it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon Moscow time. I'm Ugledar and this is my second news update in which I will share all the main news that was reported by Russian media since my first update during the day, and I will start with the significant developments on the line of contact in the zone of special military operation with because there is an update that Russian armed forces, according to a number of sources, managed to establish full control over the Vadiana settlement on South Donetsk sector of the front line, and on several other strongholds in this area, which is, of course, north of Ugledar. And if this information will be 100% confirmed, and I have no doubts that this is the case, that means that Ugledar basically is at least partially encircled right now. Of course, significant development, and it seems like while Russian troops talk for several days, kind of operational pause on Pokrovsk sector, simultaneously Russian troops were increasing pressure on Kyiv regime formations on South Donetsk sector of the front line, and we see liberation of quite a number of settlements on South Donetsk sector, including this latest report about Vadiana. And I guess before end of this month, September, we will see direct battles for Ugledar itself. Also, by the way, Russian Defense Ministry, according to Russian media, today confirmed information that Russian armed forces liberated Memrik settlement on Pokrovsk sector of the front line, which is also interesting, of course, although not really surprising, because based on number of sources, I reported about liberation of Memrik for quite a while ago, but yet again, the Defense Ministry, being conservative institution, only now acknowledged that this settlement is under full Russian control. And if you are interested, dear friends, I am now in Shukinsky Square, I guess, in not far away from Shukinsky metro. Let me show you surroundings here. Quite nice place, dear friends. This is not a city center, not even close. Just an ordinary residential district of Moscow, but really nice and well developed. And yes, so Russian Defense Ministry confirmed that Memrik is liberated. Also, by the way, expert from Zaporozhye region, head of We Are With Russia NGO, Vladimir Rogov, reported about long-range precise strike on a point of concentration of the Kyiv regime formations and also foreign mercenaries in Slavyansk. Hotel Zarya was chosen by these forces to stationed, and as a result of Russian strike, that hotel was obliterated, and Kyiv regime's forces and foreign mercenaries suffered significant losses, yet again, according to reports in Russian media. And while Russian troops continuing increasing pressure on Kyiv regime's formations and advances on the line of contact, Zelensky himself is getting more and more paranoid out of desperation, I guess, and poor quality of powder that he is using, I guess. And well, reports are coming in, by the way, and many media outlets here in Russia reported about it, including RT, that Zelensky asked Italy's leadership to influence US so that Washington will agree to transfer more air defense systems and more weapons in general to Zelensky's regime. So you tell me how much out of touch with reality this individual is that he thinks leadership of Italy, even though presidency in G7 is in on Italy right now, how out of touch with reality this individual is that he thinks Milan can somehow influence Washington. I mean, or can pressure Washington to allocate more weapons, more money, and more everything for Zelensky and his criminal associates. I mean, it's total absurd, but that's a state of Kiev regime, I guess. Also, interesting news. Also, interesting news that Kremlin, by the way, Kremlin reacted on latest statements from Western leaders about ending hostility in Ukraine. A few days ago, there was reports that Chancellor of Germany, Olaf Scholz, stated that it is time to end the conflict in Ukraine, which was received. I mean, this statement was received by many with irony, because after all, Germany is second after US when it comes to financial and military aid to Kiev regime. Some may argue Poland is second, but I'll say Germany is. And being the Chancellor of Germany, of course, Scholz is directly responsible for this unprecedented level of escalation by Berlin with Moscow. And now he wants to play this role of peacekeeper, and he wants to be seen as someone serious. Come on, man, this is not happening. But anyways, press spokesman of Russian president Dmitry Peskov was asked about it, and he said that even though there are some statements or calls in Europe to end the hostilities, real steps to end the hostility have not been seen, which is true, by the way. Statements are statements, I mean, but we did not really see any concrete steps from Germany or any other NATO member state, with the exception of Hungary and Slovakia, that they really want to end this conflict. And most importantly, Peskov also noted that main decision maker in the collective West, Washington, and I will add also London, they have not said nothing about ending hostility, which is also true. And before Washington, until Washington and London will start pushing narrative of negotiations or peace, obviously statements from other Western capitals don't really matter that much. So this is reaction of Kremlin, that Moscow is skeptical and about these calls for peace, and sees no direct indicators that Western ruling class is there, really willing to end the conflict. And when it comes to this conflict, by the way, many members of our community probably already know that former US Undersecretary of State Victoria Nuland made her statements on Western involvement in this conflict, and she basically confirmed that peace talks between Moscow and Kiev in late March, early April 2022 was derailed by Western ruling class, and of course, because they were thinking that these terms that Russia come up with was not in the best interests of Kiev regime. That's how they try to justify their actions when they effectively derail these peace talks, right? And I mean, yet again, you tell me who gonna buy this new narrative of the collective West that It was not in Kiev regime's or Ukraine's best interest to end the hostility at the time, while Russian offer was extremely generous. I mean, Ukraine would survive, hundreds of thousands of citizens of Ukraine would survive. I mean, we would be, entire world would be in very different place right now if conflict had ended in March, April 2022, isn't it? But unfortunately, it didn't happen, and the Western ruling class is trying now, as far as I understand, to basically distance themselves as much as possible from everything that had happened in Ukraine and with Ukraine and the Ukrainian citizens since that negotiations. So, I mean, it's not even double standards. It's just, you know, we all know what kind of humans Western ruling class are, by the way, including Victoria Nuland, who play a crucial role in a coup d'etat that took place in Ukraine in 2014, right? But it is interesting that despite their other statements, previous statements from Western high-ranking officials, current or former, when they were denying their involvement, just a sec. It's a railway nearby, so time to time it can be noisy here, but area is beautifully done, by the way. Nice place. So I forgot what I was talking about, but yeah, anyways, let's continue with the news. So yes, it is interesting that despite their previous statements from the collective West that they have nothing to do with derailing those peace talks in 2022, now Victoria Nuland is quite effectively openly saying that yes, we did it because it was not in our interests. She's saying, instead of ours, she's saying Ukraine, but they never cared about Ukraine, by the way, and will never, and never will, right? Anyways, let's continue. And when it comes to Western ruling class, we also have this report from RT that EU gears up to punish Slovakia, and this was reported initially on Bloomberg. So European Commission could freeze billions of euros in assistance over controversial criminal justice reform in Slovakia. So once again, Western ruling class or Brussels bureaucrats are feeling entitled to not just get involved into internal affairs of their other countries, including member states, but also to threaten them and blackmail them. And I guess Bratislava not gonna take no nonsense from Brussels, and probably we will see not just warning shots from Slovakia, but possibly some concrete steps to put Brussels bureaucrats in their place, like Budapest does, by the way, capital of Hungary, or Hungarian leadership, time to time, when they're getting fed up with the Western so-called elites or Brussels bureaucrats. Once again, demonstration of how united Europe really is in this European Union. Brussels is taking more and more rights from the member states, and if any capital dares to oppose to any will from Brussels, they're gonna end up in a position that Hungary and Slovakia find themselves. But well, they have option, by the way. I don't think Hungary or Slovakia are going to back down, because they have allies. world is much bigger than collective West, and for sure much bigger than European Union. And Budapest and Bratislava can easily find their friends in BRICS, by the way, among BRICS member states, and among all the countries that are in support of emerging multipolar world. Let's continue. A few more news, dear friends, and that's gonna be it for today's update. Today's second update. So we have additional information on Israeli strike on Syria. I spoke about it this morning in the first update, and we have new information that as a result of these strikes, 14 people were killed in Syria and 2 dozen injured. And rumors are that Israeli Air Force was targeting main target for Israeli Air Force was a facility where Iranian missiles have been reassembled. Although at this point I didn't see any official confirmation of this news. If true, then I guess this is the first time when Israel is escalating against Iran this directly since the killing of Hamas leader in Tehran. Also interesting news that according to Marine Le Pen, a railway, according to Marine Le Pen, French prominent politician, there might be new parliamentary elections in France next year, because seems like Macron has no capability to understand what is the political reality in France, and no one is happy. Political leadership of or political class in France seems to be not happy that Macron is refusing to act on results of the recent parliamentary elections. I don't know if Le Pen has a point or not. Our friends from France, from our community, can explain better what is the situation there, and if we should really expect new parliamentary elections there, or maybe it will be easier for French MPs to basically impeach Macron and hold the presidential election. But anyways, when it comes to presidential elections, we have an update that Algerian leader Abdelmajid Tebboune has been declared the winner of the presidential elections there. That was held on Sunday. However, Tebboune and his two opponents have accused the North African nation's electoral authority of announcing contradictory results. According to provisional figures published by the National Independent Authority for Elections, on Sunday, Tebboune won 94.65% of the vote, leaving his opponents Abdelali Hassani Cherif and Youssef something, I can't even read this surname, Aucheche, with just 3.17 and 2.16% respectively. So yes, there will be no changes in the leadership of the Algiers. Okay, just a newsman. I don't know much about policies, internal politics of Algeria, and I'm not gonna tell you that I care that much, but whenever there is elections of president or parliament, usually we pay attention to it, isn't it? Also interesting news that China will participate, Chinese Navy will participate in Russia's strategic military exercises Ocean 2024. This was stated by Defense Ministry of China, which is interesting because this news, of course, once again highlights level of cooperation between Russia and China, and between militaries of the two countries. Also, interesting news, and I will end this update on that, Foreign Minister of China will visit Russia to participate in security summit of BRICS that will take place on 11th, 12th of September. And once again, demonstration of cooperation, high level of cooperation between the BRICS member states. Oh, sorry, by the way. Oh, yes, it is. Sometimes it is difficult to be exact when it comes to these pronunciations of their names or surnames that I'm not familiar with. So I was correct, it's one E, by the way. So Foreign Minister of China, one E, will visit Russia to participate in this BRICS summit on security. This is not an upcoming summit of the BRICS leadership that will take place in autumn in Kazan, but this is a summit on security, and the foreign ministers of the BRICS member states, and I guess many other countries that are hoping to join BRICS will participate. And sorry, dear friends, I barely can see phone here. Hopefully video is okay due to this, sun. And yes, this is it, I guess. This is it for this update. Hopefully you will find it informative, interesting, and I hope you like their background, by the way, because it is nice. Bit noisy due to railway, not far away, but overall pretty nice place, isn't it? Cool place to go for a walk and have some rest. So yes, if you find this update interesting, please click that like button and leave some commentary just about anything. Share information about my channel with your friends in real life or on internet, on any of the platforms that you are actively using. And finally, if you find my work, if you find my channels interesting, useful, if you think I deserve to be in this field of news and political commentary, please consider to support my small media project and my work with a small donation through PayPal or Boosty, or by subscribing to my Patreon page. I just remind you that a monthly subscription on my Patreon starts from $5. All the links under this video in the description box and in the pinned comment. And dear friends, once again, sorry if camera work was not really good, but I mean, I was almost unable to see screen of the phone due to sun. I should have glasses with me. But anyways, all the links, by the way, to PayPal, Boosty, Patreon, crypto wallet under this video in the description box and in the pinned comment. So I don't know when I'll be able to upload this video, probably in about like 2 hours time, but I hope you will find it interesting. Have a great day and see you tomorrow.